She thought betrayal would kill her, until the man she never noticed wiped her tears, kissed her shattered heart, and whispered a truth he had hidden for a lifetime. What happens next will leave you breathless, because love this deep doesn't arrive gently, it explodes. Stay till the end for a twist no one sees coming, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for stories that break you, heal you, and make you believe in impossible love again. On the night her world collapsed, rain hammered the city like it was punishing her personally, every drop echoing the way her heart cracked when she saw the messages on her fiancé's phone. Screenshots she hadn't meant to find, lips pressed to another woman's neck in hotel mirrors, promises of forever written with careless fingers, and as he stood there stammering excuses that smelled of cheap lies and cheaper cologne, she realized with a terrifying calm that the man she had planned her entire future around had never loved her. Not really. And when he finally snapped and told her she was too simple, too trusting, and that betrayal was her fault for believing in fairy tales, something inside her went silent, so she walked out barefoot into the rain, mascara bleeding like war paint, lungs burning, until her legs gave out near the old riverside cafe that had long since closed, and she sank onto the steps shaking, sobbing so hard it felt like her ribs would break. This was where he found her, the CEO everyone feared, the man whose name made boardrooms freeze and stock markets twitch, standing there without an umbrella, his tailored coat already soaked, his eyes dark not with coldness but with something dangerously alive, and she barely recognized him at first because in her life he had always been a shadow on the edges, the quiet investor at charity events, the distant friend of a friend who watched instead of spoke, but he knelt anyway, ignoring the mud, ignoring the rain. And when she tried to pull away in shame he cupped her face with hands that trembled just slightly and kissed her tears as if each one mattered, as if each drop carried a story he had memorized long ago, and in that moment she didn't know why she didn't resist, didn't know why his presence felt like a harbor after a shipwreck, only that when he whispered her name it sounded like a promise, and when she finally broke and asked why he was there, why he cared, why he looked like her pain was his own. His jaw tightened and he said words that rearranged her reality forever, that he had been waiting, not weeks or months, but years, watching her love the wrong man, watching her smile and give pieces of herself away, protecting her from behind the scenes without ever crossing a line, because he had promised himself that if she was ever broken by someone else, he would be there to catch her, even if it destroyed him. And as shock numbed her tears, the world tilted again when he revealed he was the anonymous benefactor who had paid for her mother's surgeries, the silent partner who had saved her failing startup giving credit to someone else, the stranger who had once intervened when she was nearly assaulted without letting her see his face, and suddenly every unexplained miracle in her life formed a terrifyingly beautiful pattern. But the suspense didn't end there, because as days passed and she tried to rebuild herself under his quiet protection, the ex returned with threats, blackmail, and a revelation that the CEO himself had orchestrated their first meeting years ago, not to manipulate her, but because he had fallen in love with her kindness the day she defended a stranger being humiliated in public, a stranger who had been him before success hardened his reputation, and when the ex tried to expose him as obsessive and dangerous. Documents surfaced instead showing how the ex had been cheating from the very beginning, how he had sabotaged her opportunities, how every bruise she thought was emotional coincidence was intentional control, and the final twist came when she discovered the CEO was terminally ill, had known for months, and had chosen silence because he believed loving her meant wanting nothing in return, not even time. Yet when she confronted him through tears and fury and gratitude all tangled together, she chose him anyway, choosing a love that was honest even if it was finite, and in the last reveal that shattered everyone's expectations, the illness turned out to be misdiagnosed, an error buried by rivals trying to force him out. And as he stood healthy in the sunrise months later, watching her laugh freely for the first time in years, he realized the real miracle wasn't survival or revenge or wealth, it was patience, the kind of love that waits in the rain without asking to be seen, the kind that kisses tears instead of exploiting them. And as she finally said yes, not to a ring, but to a life built on truth, the city moved on unaware that the most powerful man in it had won everything the moment a broken woman cried on cold steps and found not a savior, but a man who had loved her long before she ever noticed him.